Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Not Too Shabby YouTube channel. I'm excited to be here today and bring you this Slimline Rainbow Easter card featuring a stamp set and patterned paper pack from the newest release. It's the Easter Wishes stamp set and the Dots for Spring patterned paper pack. Since I'm making a rainbow card, I picked out 6 colors from this pack that all went together nicely for a rainbow. And then I'm using this strip die set from Trinity Stamps to die cut out stitch strips that will be just a shade darker than the patterned paper, which I have cut into 1-inch strips. I'm gluing this onto a white piece of cardstock that measures 9 by 4, but the size doesn't really matter because I'm going to be die cutting this out to create a card front panel. So I'm gluing down my patterned paper and then my darker stitched strip that I die cut. And I think that just adds to the super fun rainbow look of this card, having the light and the dark paper. I'm trimming off the ends of those strips, and then I realized I kind of need something to anchor the bottom of this, so I brought in another strip of the pink and put that on the bottom. And then I'm bringing in this rectangle stitched die from Trinity Stamps as well. This die is about 7 7/8 by 2 7/8, and so I will be able to have some layers behind this. I love the stitched look of this. It goes so well with those stitched strips. Now I brought in some more scraps of cardstock, and I'm going to take the 3 eggs from this cute stamp set and I'm going to stamp them on with clear pigment ink, and then I will emboss them all with white powder. So I have all 3 of the eggs. I wasn't sure if I was going to use all 3, especially when, you mess one up. I'm not going to use that small pink one. And I'm doing that on all of the colors that I used to die cut out my stitched strips, so they will match that. So I'll have pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And I don't end up using all of them. I end up using 2 eggs per color, so I do have a few left over that I didn't mess up, and they would be great to go on the inside of the card, but you'll have to stay tuned to see the fun thing I put on the inside of this card. So once these are stamped and embossed with white powder, I am cutting them out. This is the hardest shape for me to cut. Anything symmetrical is really hard for me to cut with my scissors. I do better if it's like the bunny or a sentiment. I don't know what it is about a circle or an oval. It's hard for me. That's crazy. So now I am have all my large eggs cut out, and here's where I decided I wanted to have 2 of each color, but I have to say that polka dotted egg with the flower is definitely my favorite of the 3. I love polka dots, so this paper, it was made for me. I love it. So I have 2 eggs in each color, but then I decided I needed a little bit of shimmery splatter on top of this panel. So I have some sparkle silk that I'm going to splatter over the top. Any shimmery splatter would be good here, or even white splatter would be fun. So I added that, and then while that's drying, I took a scrap of the blue, I flipped it to the back side that has the teeny tiny polka dots, stamped my sentiment and embossed it with white, but in the end, I don't love it. I'm going to redo that and make it a little more bold and have it stick up off my card a little better. So I'm using some grass ink from Catherine Pooler, grass skirt ink, and stamping that on white cardstock. So I have this really bold green that's going to go with the green eggs, and I'm going to fussy cut around that. Now I have no trouble with this, but if it's a symmetrical shape, it's so uneven if you look closely at the edge of my eggs. Oh, now I'm adding some gems in and around here that I had in my stash. This has like every color of the rainbow, so I thought it would be really fun to use them on this card. I really thought I was going to incorporate the Easter basket on the front of this card, but I just loved just the eggs on here, so I went with that. I think that this makes this stamp set more versatile when you can think of other ways to use the images that aren't the biggest ones, like the bunny and the basket in this set, and just use the eggs. It makes it like I said, more options and more versatile. So I'm gluing down all the gems, and then I'll come back in. I'm going to pop up all of the eggs with a foam square as well as the sentiment, and they will overlap. And I tried to lay everything out first so I kind of knew where it was going to go when I stuck it down. But sometimes when I'm sticking things down, I'm like, oh, let me twist this a little bit, but it just gives me a rough idea. And I think this card is so fun. I love to do cards in rainbow. So Rainbow Easter, yeah, I'm loving it a lot. All right, so I took the next size up from this Trinity Stamps Slimline rectangle die set, and I die cut it from that same green cardstock that I did in my eggs and had that be the border. Then I will glue that down to my 8.5 by 7 Slimline card base that I scored at 3.5, and that is the card right there. But we had to add something on the inside, so I stamped the bunny from this set, and I just so happened to have my colored pencils out on my desk, so I thought, why not color this in with colored pencils? I haven't used them in a while. I love my Copic markers and my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, but I don't know, today was a colored pencil kind of day, so I went ahead and colored this bunny in brown. I'm going over it first with just a really light hand and a light layer, and then I'm going to sharpen my pencil and come back in, and I will add in those shadows. So I'm going in with a heavier hand over the top of what I already did, and then I'll just try to blend the soft and the dark together with maybe like medium pressure. And I, like on his ears, I tried to fade it out towards the lightest I could get at the top of his ear and the top of his face, just to give it that shadowy, shaded look. And I'm doing the same thing on his face and on his paws. And with colored pencils, it's all about adding layers. You don't want to go in very first thing with a really heavy hand, because that fills in the tooth of the paper, and then you're not able to do any blending of the colors or blending from dark to light. So just be careful of that and build up your layers of colored pencil, and then you'll be able to get the shadowing that you want and the shading. So there's my bunny before, and I colored in the eggs, and now I'm bringing in a blending stump. I don't have any Gamsol, but you could do that, and I'm just softening out the look of the colored pencil by rubbing it with this blending stump. Another reason why I wanted to use my colored pencils here and not my Copics is because if I colored this with Copics, you would be able to see the Copics bleed through to the back of the card. So I thought it was pretty fun to have a little Easter bunny in there. And I wanted to show you some other cards I made with this set. When this release first came out, we had a YouTube hop, and there are the cards I made with that. So you could see you can get a totally different look with this stamp set. It's so fun and versatile for Easter, and it has a cute little bee in there. I love it. Thank you so much for stopping by the Not Too Shabby shop and letting me share my creation with you. I hope that you are having a fabulous day. You can find all the things I used listed and linked below. I will see you all again very soon on the next video. Happy stamping! Bye!